Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. 1977, 79. The shadows of that year still linger. And that year was the year when the fanatic Islam came into being. There is no question that the Western neighborhood began to resolve a little faster, if unevenly, in a non-linear fashion. But the lingering effects of 1979 are still there. But amazingly, the countries where this originated are fighting against Islamism. I'm referred to Iran and Saudi Arabia. But Pakistan and Afghanistan, two countries which had very liberal traditions, they offer little hope. The current Indian focus on the appointment of the new army chief in Pakistan is unfortunately not matched with far more consequential developments unfolding further west, that is in Iran, where anti-regime protests in Iran, and the economic transformation of Saudi Arabia under Mohammed bin Salman point to potential restructuring of the complete western periphery of India. Afghanistan, absolutely under the control of Taliban, the fanatics, who swear by whatever they might say, by Ghazwa-e-Hind. Now, what happened in 1979 is one of the questions asked to me. This was the year when Ayatollah Khomeini returned to Tehran. And he returned to Tehran after 15 years of exile and took over the law enforcement. The Islamists took control of the US embassy, made all the diplomats prisoners, seized the courts, government administration, and the power. Iran became Islamic Republic and Shah was forced to leave. As a matter of fact, the Iranian Revolution came in the end of February in 1979 when he returned after 15 years, as I said. And it was prompted by CIA. CIA was perturbed that the Shah's land reforms and attempts to modernize the country in the 60s might make Iran the predominant power challenging USA. And naturally they cannot broke. So he was forced to flee the country. He had been in power since 1941 and the first order. Now here the tables turn. The people who helped him come to Iran and take over the control, they became the first victim. His first order was to expel all foreigners from Iran, forcing 1,000 state department officers to leave the country. He wanted to create a country which followed the principles of Islam and shunned outside interference. At the same time, Idi Amin was deposed in Uganda, which was a good thing. But what happened? Uganda was taken over by the Islamists. He had caused the death of around 300,000 people against genocidal group. At the same time, as I said, 3,000 Iranian radicals took 19 hostages. At the same time, curiously, same year, the Grand Mosque in Mecca was taken over by Sunni Islamic Muslims. 400 of them seized the Grand Muslim, taking the pilgrims hostage. The crisis ended after 2 weeks and more than 250 people died. That was another thing happened at the same year. It was that General Zia ensured that President Bhutto is hanged by neck and then started the complete Islamization of Pakistan. So this was the situation when Islam started blooming and then reactions set in. The current movement in Iran, triggered by the death of a young woman, Mahsa Amini, in the custody of the religious police in September, has created a watershed where the women who were considered to be second citizens are coming up in full force, and they force the government to disband this so-called religious police, morality police, which is not acceptable in this world. Now what is happening is that the anti-regime protest in Iran and the social and economic progress of Saudi Arabia are something which should give hope to the secular, pro-women, pro-human being forces. But is that happening? As I said, especially in context with India. Pakistan, despite whatever may say today, the mullahs rule the roost. And no political party, whatever they might say, cares to oppose them or has a sufficient capacity to oppose them. The army is still fundamentalist, and the orders of General Zia are still followed blindly. So much so that the seculars like Asma Jahangir in Pakistan, they were not ever saying. And then Afghanistan, which was undergoing a metamorphosis, but it was the forced one. The women have been consigned back to the homes and they move out, they have to be in hijab and have to be accompanied by a male of the family, they can't go alone, denied education. So the two streams are now going ahead. India has very sensibly chosen to enter and have closer relationship with Saudi Arabia. At the same time, it is upgrading its relationship with Iran. Even the Gwadar port, which was giving a problem, has been offset by our helping the Iran set up their ports, the Chagga port. Now, what's really happening is that these two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan, these two countries, are spreading their tentacles. And the tentacles are, as seen in India by the Popular Front, to spread terror. The basic purpose is to create a situation where the Islamist forces can take covert and overt action and carry out their Ghazwa Hind project. The Popular Front's tentacles had spread very wide, and we have seen how they were buying, cajoling, persuading, or forcing people to join them. At the same time, the Hindutva movement is being blown out of the proportion. And that is causing a confusion in the Western world. They think India is becoming religiously fanatic. Quite possible. I'm not denying the fact that some fringe groups can do it. But then, Does the government sanction it? I don't think so. Not the federal government at all. And the Indian ethos is that of acceptance. That's not of rejection. They can you believe the first mosque outside Saudi Arabia was built in India during the lifetime of Hazrat Muhammad. So that country which gave refuge to Zoroastrians when they were persecuted, to the Jews, and there are two lost tribes of the Jews still in India. I met some of them in Mizoram. Now the question arises, with the centrality of Pakistan and Afghanistan, they are the pathways of India, the ways to all the Central Asian republics, whether it's Tajikistan, Turkmenia, and others. And we need to have closer relations with these Central Asian republics. Would we be able to do it? That's $1 million question. That is possible provided the Islamists, not the real honest Islamists who believe in Islam, but the rabid fanatics, if they cannot be controlled by these countries. And unfortunately, the sponsorship of Pakistan, terrorism by Pakistan, is assuming dangerous shapes. And here, strangely, but not really strangely, because there's a game of politics, China is assisting Pakistan continuously by ensuring that the terrorists are not declared terrorists, and that enables Pakistan to divert funds which it receives to these terrorist groups. Recently, the cache of arms sent to India by the drones is an indicator of that. Now, coming back to the main thing which I was talking about, that luckily the saner elements in Pakistan are like Najam Sethi and others, fighting for the good of the people and the good of the country. So there are two phases of fight. One is the overt fight which is being waged in Iran by these women, supported by the saner elements. Economic development which is being controlled and directed by Prince Suleiman. But then the drawbacks, the clawing back by Pakistan and by Afghanistan is a danger point. Now here is what Saudi Arabia should do. They are giving billions of dollars to Pakistan. They should say, no, you will be given $1 billion, whatever the money you need, only when you stop funding terrorism. And that would enhance the global acceptability of Saudi Arabia as a custodian of peace. And the great Saturn, as the USA is called by Iranians, would also have to reconsider their attitude. Now, what is happening is that the governments in the West overtly show they are very honest and they don't have anything against Islam, which is justified. But the way things are going and the return of the ultra-conservatives, for example, in Italy, should sound a clear danger bell to these people that they will not be permitted. And now with Rishi Sunak saying very clearly in England that he'll send the illegal immigrants, which are majority of them Islamists, back to Rwanda, is a clarion call to come to the terms of humanity. And as a matter of fact, any fringe group, whether it's Hindu or Muslim or Sikh, has to understand that what they are wanting is not acceptable. Not in this world of the 21st century. And until and unless they can align their principles with the good of the people, they would suffer. Would it happen? And would India escape the fear of Ghazwa Hind? These are the million-dollar questions that are being faced. And they'll continue to be faced as long as these two fronts do not mix and merge for the better one. There are only two options. Either Pakistan and Afghanistan, there's a cultural revolution in these two countries. And that cultural revolution will bring them back to the path of sanity. Or their funders and the supporters understand how much harm they are doing to the world order. Forget India politics, but the whole world order is being affected. And that's why assertive action is required. What we need here is what should be called the affirmative action for the good of humanity, good of the people, and the peace of the world. Let's see which way the wind blows. Thank you.